Greetings from the Shelby Soil and Water Conservation District. In this educational video, I'm going to highlight some of the activities that can be done with this awesome Aquifer Hydrology Kit. This was given to us from the Miami Conservancy District. Thank you, MCD. This kit can be used by anyone, but best aligns with the science standards for grades 6 and 7. We have 2 of these kits here in our office, available for anyone in Shelby County to borrow, whether you're a teacher or a student at home doing homeschool or virtual learning. Let's get started. So today we're going to talk about groundwater and surface water and figure out if they are connected. So to represent the ground, we are going to pour rocks into our clear box here. Next, we are going to add some water to show what groundwater is. Groundwater is found underground in the cracks and spaces between soil, sand, and rock. Groundwater is a natural resource that is used for drinking, recreation, industry, and agriculture. It is stored in aquifers. So now the water is infiltrating into the ground. Infiltration is the flow of water from the land's surface into the subsurface. This line where the water is called the water table. The top of the groundwater, or the top of an aquifer, is the water table. The area below the water table is called the saturated zone, and the area above the water table is called the unsaturated zone. Next, we are going to make a lake. There is our lake. So surface water is water above the surface of the ground. This includes lakes, rivers, streams, ponds, floodwater, and runoff. I'm going to add more water and watch as it percolates through the gravel and becomes groundwater. This time, watch what happens to the level of the surface water in the lake. Discharge is the outflow of water from one location to another. For example, when poured on the surface, the water infiltrated the ground and became groundwater. The water then discharged from the aquifer into the lake, causing the level of the lake to rise. Now I'm going to add water to the lake and watch what happens to the level of the groundwater. The water in the lake is recharging the aquifer, causing the water table to rise. Groundwater under the direct influence of surface water can easily be contaminated by surface pollution. How does groundwater become polluted? We will demonstrate this by creating a well. A well is a pipe driven into the ground down into the aquifer. It basically acts like a straw and sucks up water for us to use for drinking water. So we want well water that we are drinking to be clean and contaminant free, right? So in order to have this, we need to keep our aquifers clean and free from pollutants. So the first thing we're going to do to make the well is add a screen to the bottom of our pump. This screen will help collect only water and nothing else, no sand or small pieces of the rock. So you cut a small piece from the nylon hose and attach it to the bottom of well with a rubber band and insert the well into the ground. So this is how the well works. It pumps water from the aquifer into our homes and businesses and cities so we can use it and drink it. We are going to pretend that this water becomes polluted by contaminants. A contaminant is any substance that, when added to water, makes it impure and unfit for consumption or its intended use. Some potential groundwater contaminants include pesticides, fertilizers, road salt, motor oil, untreated wastewater, landfill leachate, chemicals from mining and industry, and leaking underground storage tanks. So we are going to pretend that the red food coloring is our contaminant. So the contaminated water leaches into the ground, into our groundwater over here. Now our well is clear over here. Do you think that is going to be affected by our contaminant? Let's find out. So far, the water we have pumped out is nice and clean, isn't it? Water is starting to look a little purplish, but let's keep going. Now our water is starting to show a pink reddish color, and that contaminant ended up being sucked up by the well on this side because all the water over here was being used, and so it was drawing water from our lake and from the groundwater over here, which had the contaminant. But what would happen if it rains and recharges our aquifer and lake? So now we have a recharged aquifer and water table and a recharged lake. So if we keep pumping water out of this well, it may take a while, but as long as it keeps raining, the pollutant will become diluted and less obvious in the well. Have you ever heard the term dilution is the solution to pollution? Because a high concentration of some pollutants are more harmful than a low concentration. So when rainwater dilutes this pollutant, it may make it less harmful to us. Once groundwater is contaminated, it can be very costly and difficult to remediate. Remediation is the containment, treatment, or removal of contaminated groundwater, or the containment, treatment, or removal of contaminated soil above the water table. Now we are going to try and remediate the contaminated groundwater we have here. pump it into a cup. Then we are going to fill about the rest of the cup up with our charcoal. So this is the charcoal that came in the kit in a little plastic bag. So you just put as much as you can in the cup with the contaminated water. It should be only about 3/4 full. You don't want it all the way full. Next, you want to put plastic wrap tightly over the cup. And secure that with a rubber band. Then you're going to shake the cup gently for about 30 to 60 seconds. Then take the plastic wrap and rubber band off. Then you're going to make another lid from the coffee filter to go over it. Then pour the water into a new plastic cup. Now, as you can see, the water in the cup is clean. What other things can you find at home do you think would remediate this water? How about a sponge or some foam? Experiment with these things and find out if those will also clean the water. Today I only demonstrated 3 of the 6 activities outlined in this manual that comes with the kit. Plus, each activity has several extensions you can do on top of that, so don't worry, there's much more that you can learn with this kit. Contact me, Sophie Neeport, if you're interested in borrowing one of these awesome Aquifer kits.